Yo, what is going on everyone? XpertFusion here, and today I'm going to be doing a little review on the brand new multiplayer map in Black Ops Cold War, which is of course Apocalypse. So originally I was quite disappointed that we were only having one brand new map at launch for Season 2, and even when it comes to the in-season content for Season 2, we're only getting a brand new Fireteam map as well as a brand new Gunfight map, which is already less than what we had from Season 1, but of course, Express in Season 1 wasn't actually an announced map, so I'm sure they'll give us at least one more map for the in-season content for this game, likely a remake of some sort, but still, I was kind of wishing for a little bit more. But that doesn't change the fact that the brand new map Apocalypse is actually really damn good. I'd go as far as to say probably one of the best maps in this game, might be the top one or two, not including the remakes of course, because I mean it's really hard to beat Raid and Nuketown. Come on, Raid and Nuketown are absolute masterpieces of maps. But Apocalypse just flows incredibly well. Now, a big problem with deciding whether or not a map is good or bad is that there's a lot of subjectivity involved. I know a lot of people, including myself sometimes, will hop into a map for the first time and will do incredibly poorly on that specific map, and we'll just hate the map because we didn't have fun with it because we were doing bad. Or vice versa, you'll do really good and you'll automatically like the map. But I've played probably 10 matches on this map so far. I'd say a decent amount of them I've done pretty good in, but another couple of them I've done pretty poorly in. I mean, that's just how skill-based matchmaking works. Eventually you'll get to a point where you'll start doing bad because you're getting put into harder and harder lobbies as you're doing way better. But even taking all that into account and just looking at how the map is designed, it's a pretty standard structure for a map. It's basically 3-laned, but not like an exact symmetrical 3-lane layout. There's definitely more people on one side of the map than the other, which kind of creates a minor imbalance, but it really just depends on the lobby, where people are going, and also what mode you're playing is definitely a huge part, so it all just depends. I've played Hardpoint, Team Deathmatch, Kill Confirmed, and Domination on this map. I have not tried it out in Search and Destroy or any other modes, so I'm not too sure how it's going to play there, but in those specific modes, I have never felt like there's one single match that I had where it was not flowing well, I guess. And I feel that way about most of the Cold War maps. I know most people don't, but I think a big part of that is that they're just not having fun with the game as a whole, but they think the easiest thing to pin their blame on for the game is the maps, and everyone just shoots down the maps at all costs. And they usually don't have actual legitimate reasons as to why the maps are actually poor, aside from a few maps definitely. There's a couple of interesting flank routes on the map, but there isn't too many to the point where the flow is completely ruined, which is exactly how you create a good map, honestly. This is why I think Treyarch has been the best at map design since, Black Ops 1. They've always been killing it. I have not felt like in a single COD game, Treyarch's maps have been poor. Call me a Treyarch fanboy all you want, but that's just my opinion. Every single one of their games, even Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. Black Ops 3, I had some issues with their DLC because the maps felt very cookie cutter, and they didn't feel very unique, but that doesn't mean the maps weren't good. They were still incredible maps. In Black Ops 4, I still think those maps were incredible. I know a lot of people shit on that game, but I really don't see how the maps were that bad, and Cold War is really no different. I do think some of the maps at launch were a bit iffy. Some of them were too big for 6v6, like Miami and Cartel, but they thankfully moved Cartel. Well, actually, Cartel was always in 12v12 at the start, but they thankfully moved Miami to 12v12 as well, and Cartel and Miami are incredible maps in 12v12. They just don't really work well for 6v6. They probably should have made strike versions of them, which they are doing for Miami soon, which is really exciting. So actually that is another map we're getting in Season 2, although it's not really a new map. It's just taking Miami and cutting it down a little bit and making it daytime, so I'm very excited for Miami Strike, I gotta say. But yeah, Apocalypse just follows the simple Treyarch formula of a 3-lane map that doesn't really have much unequal balances to it. Like, it's not like a map like a state where, you know, there's a specific spot of the map where you definitely have an advantage over the other side. Now, like I said earlier, there is definitely some inconsistencies with a lot of people being on, I guess, I don't really know if it's the left or the right side of the map. The side that's a little more open, there's the other side which has the little cabins, or whatever you want to call them, and it's like a little lower area below it. It almost reminds me of Macon from World at War, if you guys remember the map Macon. Really cool map, but it kind of reminds me of that, how you can go under it, but people don't go there as much because it's a little too tight, I guess, and people kind of prefer the more open areas. Unless they're using a shotgun, they'll probably go around that right side. I tend to go around that right side more than I do the other side. Again, it's right depending on what side you're on actually. And there's a couple of good window spots. It just plays like a good solid Treyarch map. And then in terms of the environment, the looks of the map, it's beautiful. I mean, come on, it's not in Vietnam like a lot of people think it is. It's actually in Laos, which is a country really close to Vietnam. It's like bordering it. So it's basically Vietnam. You can say it's Vietnam, and honestly, it doesn't really make much of a difference. It definitely has that same feel to it, that same jungle-esque feel. I love the look of it, man. It's very different than anything else in the game, which is exactly what they should do. Modern Warfare's DLC, I was always disappointed with how similar the maps looked to other maps in the game. They all just kind of felt like the same, either Russian woodland place like Verdansk or some sort of a place like a deserty place in the Middle East. They never felt that different from each other. I think Cheshire Park was the only one that felt very unique, but even then that was still, I believe that was in the UK, so it was still the same general area as Piccadilly, but it was, better than having the same Russian or Middle Eastern type map. I'm glad that Cold War has more diversity in their maps, like looks, they all have different locations and such, and I'm pretty excited to see where it goes from here because we're still only in Season 2. We still have probably 4 more seasons to go, assuming they don't do a Season 7, which they probably won't, but I'm sure we'll get some more content even after Season 6, just like Modern Warfare is still going to be getting content actually soon. I believe they've been hinting towards new guns and pretty much, I think, a new map coming as well, so it's kind of getting a Season 7. It's just not going to get like a battle pass and it's traditional stuff that it would get if it was a normal season. They kind of are done with that, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think about Apocalypse in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.